Hello there, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Today we're going to be reacting to a Rishi Lakhani, hopefully I said your name correctly, video on the Rajput who crossed the Indus, Raja Man Singh, and India's forgotten frontier. So I'm not 100% certain what all he's going to cover in this video, but I do know that Raja Man Singh basically was a Rajput general, and he conquered a lot of Afghanistan. That's what I know him for, but he also did a lot of conquests on the other side of India as well. So we're going to learn a little bit more about that, and we're going to learn that from Rishi here. I will say, Rishi is only at 112 subscribers. So it is very, very, very important that you go down to the description of this video here, this reaction video, and in there'll be a link to this video, his video, the original video. So go and take a look at that, watch it from his channel, subscribe to him if you want to subscribe to him. I probably recommend it. I don't know, I haven't actually watched the video, but I have had this video recommended to me. So, and I trust the recommendee, so we're going to go ahead and see. So yeah, the video tells the extraordinary story of Raja Man Singh of... Wow, my God, my glass. I need glass. I thought, does that say Amber? Akbar. I thought Amber. Okay. Akbar's most trusted general, his Fars and one of the most remarkable figures in early modern India. From the forts of Rajputna to the red sandstone courts of Fatpur Sikri, from the dusty plains of what is this word here? Haldigadi to the cold mountain passes of Afghanistan. So I know him for I don't know. I don't even know how I know him for this, but I know him because he did a lot of conquering in Afghanistan. I don't know if it's from another video or if it's like some tertiary knowledge that I got whilst looking things up on my own. But that's what I know him for. He did a lot to conquer Afghanistan under the so he was a general for the Mughals, and he conquered Afghanistan, or like fought a lot of wars and battles there. This is a journey across civilization, identities, and frontiers. Looks like there is some music in here. I'll probably have to mute the music, so if you want the original audio, go to the original video. All right, guys, let's see. No spoilers in the comments. Let's just get right into it, shall we?
This is the story of a Rajput prince, a Mughal emperor, and a river that divided not just lands but the Indian mind. In the late 16th century, northern India was a civilization in motion. Old kingdoms blending into a rising empire, Persian court culture mingling with Sanskrit learning, Central Asian cavalry riding alongside Rajput warriors who...
I still can't like this Persian Arabic script. It just looks like lines to me. It's so tough. Like my brain can't comprehend it.
Mingling with Sanskrit learning, Central Asian cavalry riding alongside Rajput warriors whose lineages were older than memory. Among these Rajputs, the men of the house of Amber stood out. Chivalrous,
Amber. What did I say? Amber, Amber.
Proud, and visually unforgettable. Their forts perched on cliffs like stone crowns. Their turbans flared in saffron, crimson, and indigo. Their moustaches curved with martial confidence. They lived with splendor. Jeweled opium boxes, brocaded garments, golden armlets, and the slender Rajput dagger, the katar, tucked into the kamarband.
The Qatar is a... Wait, the Qatar? I mean, I know it from like video games and such, but does that have its origins? I'm shocked. Wow, that's cool.
The
That's
Rajput
interesting.
houses, such as Amber, were the traditional shields of northern India, who had for centuries resisted the pressure of Arab, Turkic, and Persian invasions. Their ethos was courage unto death, their honor sacred. These men were as volatile as they were noble, capable of sublime loyalty, sudden fury, and suicidal bravery. They had resisted numerous foreign invasions, from Ghaznavids to Ghurids, and in some tragic moments of defeat, their women chose collective self-immolation over.
Wow, that's metal. That's brutal. Self-immolation. Jahar of the Hindu women during the siege of Chittorgarh in 1568. Does it say who the author of this is? Or not, excuse me, not the author, but like the artist? Does he have any of these listed? No.
Surrender. They were the custodians of Hindu martial culture, and the Mughal emperor Akbar the Great, clever judge of men, wisely sought alliance rather than enmity. Recognizing their power, Akbar forged matrimonial and political alliances with the Rajput houses, especially the kingdom of Amber, whose rulers proudly styled themselves Savai in later centuries, or one and a quarter, as if to say that a ruler of Amber was more than merely one man, but a force that surpassed the standard measure.
Hmm.
To many Rajputs, such as the Kachwaha Rajputs of Amber, the Mughal emperor was, at first glance, a Turkic mlicha, foreign by origin, Central Asian by race, Persian in language and culture. His world smelled of rosewater, musk, ink, and wine. Theirs of ghee lamps, sandalwood, temple bells, and the sharp scent of sweat of the Marwari horse.
Sweat of a horse. What? Also, musk? What? He smelled of musk? What kind of musk?
Turkic mlicha.
Mlecha. I've not heard of this word. Mlecha.
Foreign by origin, Central Asian by race, Persian in language and culture. His world smelled of rosewater, musk, ink, and wine.
Musk? Would it musk? Are these rodentia or are these like deer? Like what is this animal?
Wine. Theirs of ghee lamps, sandalwood, temple bells, and the sharp scent of sweat of the Marwari horse. And yet, in an irony of history, Mughal blood soon carried Rajput lineage within it, softening the inherited repulsion without erasing it. And from this world emerged one of the Mughal Empire's greatest generals, Raja Man Singh of Amber, Akbar's brother-in-law, yet more affectionately his Farzand, his son. Akbar
Farzand.
used the word not lightly. He had wrestled Man Singh in a drunken state during one festival evening. The emperor, emboldened by wine, challenged the young Rajput prince to a bout. The two grappled in the Darbar courtyard, the emperor laughing, Man Singh holding back his great Rajput strength so as not to injure his sovereign. It ended in good humour, one of the many small gestures that reflected the deep fondness between them. Man Singh had fought at Haldi Ghati for his emperor against his fellow Rajput, Maharana Pratap of Mewar. Pratap represented the opposite pole of the civilizational dilemma, pure repulsion, a refusal to bend even an inch before the foreigner. And here lies the paradox that crowns the age. Amber, which embraced alliance, and Mewar, which resisted almost unto ruin, both survive today. Proof that India's civilizational story makes room for both the bridge builders and the boundary keepers.
Wow.
For his prowess in the field, Man Singh received the title of Mansabdar, the Persian title Mirza, served as governor in Mughal provinces across the country, and earned a place among the Navratnas, or the 9 gems of Akbar's court.
I'm loving the artwork. The artwork's so cool. It's like a museum. And then he
India's
attributed this one
civilizational story
here.
makes room for both the bridge
We have this one. This is nice as well. I need to get some art. That's the one thing that I'm missing. I need to get some prints or something.
title of Mansabdar and earned a place among the Navratnas, or the 9 gems of Akbar's court.
Rajput among
To
Spaniards.
understand
What
the
is
aura
wait,
of Man
what?
Singh, imagine him transplanted across continents, into a world where the courts were filled with Grandes España, where honor was the true measure of a man and religious devotion ran as deep as in his native Rajputana, where Hispanic chivalry moved to the same stern rhythm that shaped the clans of his native homeland. Had Man Singh been born in Castile, he would have taken his place naturally among the grandees of Spain, moving through the solemn corridors of the Escorial instead of the red sandstone of Fatehpur Sikri, his footfalls echoing beneath vaulted archways darkened by age and memory. His noble Rajput turban would have been set aside for a ducal coronet, his armour chased with Spanish damascening, his horse prancing in the courtyards where the Duke of Alba and Don Juan of Austria weighed the destinies of realms. for these were men entrusted to uphold an empire stretched across continents.
I really enjoy the comparison. It helps a lot for someone that doesn't know like the full contextual significance of a lot of these like titles and whatnot that he has. Whatnot. Wow, that's me. But I like the context because I can understand this. So this is the yeah this puts it more were something I've seen because this is something more along the lines of what I've grown up with, right? I enjoy that. That's cool. That's a nice little touch.
Serving as Habsburg governors in Flanders, Milan, and Naples, much as Mansingh, in his own world, would be sent to Kabul, Bengal, or Berar to steady the Mughal frontiers in Akbar's name, bearing authority far from the court he served. One can almost see him commanding tercios with the same assurance with which he led the Rajput cavalry. And had Philip II entrusted him, not Medina Sidonia, with the Armada, one suspects the chronicles of Britain would read in an altogether different way. But fate anchored him in India, and it is here that his genius shaped history.
I like the comparison. That's really
In
cool. I was
1582,
wondering like
Akbar
what
commanded.
was he going with the Spaniard stuff, but it was to help people ease into understanding. That's great. I like that little touch. That's a good touch.
Mansingh to suppress a rebellious Afghan governor on the empire's northwest frontier. To do so, his forces had to cross the Indus River, not merely a geographical barrier, but a psychological one. For centuries, the Indus, the Sindhu, had marked the western edge of the Indian world. Though lands beyond it like Gandhara and Kapisa or Cambodge had once been luminous centers of early Indian civilization, they had long since come under Central Asian sway. By Mansingh's time, these regions felt foreign, even menacing. These so-called foreign lands of Afghanistan had, in antiquity, been part of India's own cultural frontier since Vedic times. Yet by the 1500s, these regions felt psychologically distant, tinged with fear and impurity. To many high-born Rajputs, steeped in ritual purity laws, crossing the Indus meant risking pollution, caste loss, and a severing from the sacred order of life. They were patrons of Hinduism, custodians of ritual propriety, and they insisted, both then and later, that the cooperation with the Mughals was precisely a strategy to protect the faith, not dilute it. So the army hesitated. The river roared, brown and immense, horses snorted, and armor glinted under the sun. And Mansingh rode alone forward, calm, assured, almost serene. There, upon a slight rise above the riverbank, he uttered the words that have echoed through history. Sabe bhumi gopal ki, ya mein atak kahan, jaake man mein atak hai, so hi atak raha. All land belongs to Krishna. What true obstacle can there be? The only obstruction is the one within your mind. A smile might have crossed his lips, for the crossing was at atak, a name uncannily close to the Hindi word atak, or hindrance. The message was unmistakable. The only atak that matters is the atak inside you. And so the Rajputs crossed. The rebellion was crushed, and Kabul
Very poetic, isn't it? Wow.
secured. The real trial, however, came in 1585 when 5 powerful Afghan tribes, including the fierce Yusufzai, combined in revolt. Raja Birbal, another of Akbar's Navaratnas, more of a bureaucrat than a warrior, fell in the early fighting. Mansingh was called upon once again, and gathering his army in Lahore, he ventured farther than any Mughal commander yet, through the Khyber Pass, the roof of the world, into the cold, stony marrow of Afghanistan. Amid cliffs the color of burnt copper, and the valleys echoing with tribal war cries, he broke the 5 tribes. To commemorate this astonishing victory, the kingdom of Amber changed its banner. The old Kachinar flag was replaced with the Pancharanga, the 5 colors, each stripe representing a defeated Afghan tribe.
Wow.
And this crossing of the Indus was not the last. The river would be crossed again by the Marathas, who in the mid-1700s pushed into Attock and Peshawar, momentarily resurrecting an Indo-centric presence deep into the northwest. By the Sikhs under Maharaja Ranjit Singh, who made Peshawar a Sikh administrative centre and held the Khyber with unmatched discipline. The name of his most trusted general of the Khalsa Fauj, Hari Singh Nalwa, is said to have been evoked by many an Afghan mother to quieten their crying children. In each case, the same, deeper truth resurfaced. The frontier was never truly foreign. It had always been part of the civilizational rhythm of India. Let the timid speak of pollution and forbidden waters. Where Gopal or Krishna's name is carried, no river, not even the Indus, can sever purity. The so-called loss of caste dissolves like foam upon the tide, for the mind alone conjures up these chains. All earth is his playground and domain. The river demanded courage, not ritual, and the Rajput Raja Man Singh, the Maratha Sardars Raghunath Rao Peshwa, Malhar Rao Holkar, Tukoji Holkar, Jankoji Scindia, and Sardar Hari Singh Nalwa, the Bagmar tiger killer, all responded to the call. The House of Amber, by poisoning themselves as the emperor's men, gained power, prestige, and stability. But in the complex social world of Rajput polities, it also carried a subtle stain. To houses like Mewar, which prided themselves on a legacy of resistance.
This is really nice. I like this. I like the look of this facade here on the outside of this building. Because if you look back here, it's like it feels very clean. It feels very flat, right? But if you look on from the outside, there's lots of angles. There's different, dips and circles, and I really enjoy architecture like this. It's better than something that's flat and straight and bare. You got some character here. Sorry.
And
I'm
uncompromising
distracting
independence.
from the
To have
video.
the complex social world of Rajput polities, it also carried a subtle stain. To houses like Mewar, which prided themselves on a legacy of resistance and uncompromising independence, Amber's Mughal ties could seem like a form of compromise, a concession to Persianized courtly norms rather than pure Rajput honor. Moralizing historians, travel observers, and the romantic chronicles collected by writers such as James Todd often reflect this tension. In those accounts, Amber or Jaipur is respected for its survival and political acumen, yet sometimes quietly reproached by more orthodox Rajput clans for having embraced what others saw as foreign influence. In those stories, Jaipur stands as a city of refined courts, diplomacy, and Mughal-style grandeur, admired, but regarded by some as having decayed from the unadorned warrior ethos of Mewar. Thus, among Rajput houses, there remained an unspoken rivalry. Mewar representing the ideal of unyielding independence and martial purity, Amber Jaipur representing adaptability, alliance, and political sophistication. After the British left in 1947, India faced the momentous task of unifying over 500 princely states into the newly formed Union. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the Bismarck of India, first Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister, the Iron Man of India, used a combination of persuasion and pressure to bring hesitant rulers on board. In one notable encounter, he met the Raj Sahib of Jodhpur. The Rajput told Patel, "We shall do all we can to preserve our independence." Patel, with his characteristic quiet precision, said, "Independence? Like the kind you preserved when your ancestors gave daughters in marriage to the Mughals?" Patel reminded the prince, in effect, that even the proudest houses had tempered their
Oh my
pride with
god.
pragmatism when history demanded it.
Damn. Oh my god. What? Dude. You just don't bring something like that up. What the heck? Ruthless. Wow.
Even when that meant providing daughters to the Mughal harem, or crossing the Indus when the emperor ordered to do so. Every civilization develops repulsions, taboos, rituals, notions of purity that preserve identity. India, more than most, cultivated elaborate distinctions: what one may eat, whom one may dine with, which waters one may cross. These guided continuity through centuries of turmoil. But civilizations also require universality, the impulse to expand, to encounter, to absorb, to push beyond inherited boundaries. Cultures often define themselves against something else: a repulsive other, a hostile border, a culture to be subjugated or feared. The Afghan tribes represented exactly that for the Mughal Rajput world: remote, fierce, culturally different. Yet when Man Singh crossed the boundary and defeated those Afghan tribes, he didn't just assert dominance, he absorbed their memory. The Panchranga flag is a powerful metaphor. Those others didn't vanish, their identities were woven into the fabric of Amber's identity.
That goes deep. That goes so deep.
In a nutshell,
This video has been very poetic. Very like everything he's saying is very, very poetic.
repulsion preserves a culture. Universality expands a culture. A civilization needs both, but must know when to lean on which. Had Mansingh's troops clung blindly to repulsion, the frontier would have collapsed. Had India embraced universality without restraint, its inner essence might have dissolved. Civilization thrives in the dance between these two impulses, the hearth and the horizon. Centuries have passed since Mansingh crossed the Indus, yet the legacy remains. The Pancharanga still rises over Jaipur's palaces. The Govind Devji temple, his great act of patronage, still floods each dawn with saffron light and devotional
Wow.
song. The temple houses the idol of Govind Devji, which had to be carried to Amber from Vrindavan in secret to save it from Emperor Aurangzeb's iconoclastic destruction, the very emperor the Ambirs were supposed to serve. And in the modern age, the frontier called once more. In a final, almost poetic echo of Mansingh's frontier ride, Lieutenant General, then Lieutenant Colonel, Savai Raja Bhavani Singh of Jaipur, the last titular Maharaja, a descendant of the very house that had crossed the Indus, led his special forces, the 10 Para, supported by the 20th Rajput Regiment, across the border in 1971, capturing and liberating deep positions in the ancient sands of Sindh in a lightning strike that earned him the Mahavir Chakra. It was as if the old Rajput instinct to ride westward, to test the frontier, stirred up once more. This time, not under the Kachnar or the Pancharanga, but our Tiranga, the tricolour. A Rajput prince once more crossing into the old frontier, not for empire, but for his republic. A time where we will have to march westwards once more.
It runs into the family, huh? Wow. There is something about lineage and bloodline, to an extent, where certain things and get passed down, right? Certain ideologies or desires and things of this nature. I mean, this just kind of showcases it, right?
May come. The tales of Akbar's drunken wrestling match, the Rajput dagger kept firm in the Kamarband, the fording of the Indus, Sardar Patel's devastating remark, and the proud titles of Mirza and Savai. These are not just footnotes, but living threads in a tapestry still unfolding. For the story of Ambir is not merely the story of a kingdom. It is the story of India's eternal rhythm, the balance between repulsion and universality, between the hearth and the horizon, between the purity that preserves and the courage that expands.
Okay. Well, there it is. This was I was expecting to go into something that was, just straightforward. Here's the facts. There you are, right? Type of video. This was very poetic. It was very I want to say like what sing-songy. I don't know if sing-songy is the right thing. It was more like it was like he was like weaving it through like a pattern. I liked it a lot. It was a really good video. I recommend this video. This is a good video. It was a very good video. We got a little bit of history. We got to see some good artwork. And he very philosophical touches to it as well. I enjoyed this video. This is a good video. Very, very much so recommend it, guys. Please go and take a look at what is this? Oh, AI generated. What does the AI generated thing say? Remarkable journey across the Indus River, significant cultural psychological barrier. The historical documentary examines the Rajput prince's military campaigns and complex alliances within the Mughal Empire. Witness the clash of tradition and enduring legacy of a ruler who defied expectations. I guess the AI was pretty close, wasn't it? Highly recommend the video. Please go and take a look at it. The link to the original video is in the link to the original video is in the description box down below. It's been a little while since I've made a video, so I have to get my lines all situated in order. Okay, let's read some of the comments now, shall we? Reason: after the Indus, the land was dry, less rivers, as pre-industrial economy was deepened on agriculture. Hats off, man! You're doing such great work by bringing to light Indian history that was forgotten by us, especially the Rajput era. One of the greatest war generals of medieval India. Yeah, and he didn't even really touch upon in this video. He didn't touch upon a lot of it because he attacked and conquered large swaths of Afghanistan. Yeah, but he also did things in like Bihar and Orissa as well, if I remember correctly. Very refreshing to see Spanish references parallel to Hindu Rajput history of India. Yeah, that was really cool. That was actually really cool. So I know a lot of the lingo from his his telling of like Spanish. So him saying, okay, this equals this, or this would equate to this, really helped wrap it in my brain. The significance of them, and the significance of the titles. I really enjoyed that. Just poetry. Never has the splendid served better. Great video. The background music is just hearts. Damn, bro, you're making such quality videos and just 62 subs. Yeah, when I first saw the channel, he was at 72. He's at 112 now. And just 62 subs on channel will grow to great heights. I discovered your channel and love this video. Proud to say my direct ancestor was part of the force. He was a general under Rajaman that partook in this campaign. Congratulations, great job. Wow, this is your best. I've subscribed. Touch more Indian topics. By the way, I love the video. Funny video. Laugh openly, my brother. The painting you showed, Aman Singh and Akbar, is gross, exaggerated. This thing never happened. Second, give me a contemporary source for matrimonial alliance. Thanks for your comment. To clarify, the video is meant as a narrative storytelling history, not a strict academic scholarly account. So some scenes are poetic representation. The painting from Akbar I can't read. Akbar Maman is often identified as Akbar wrestling Raja Man Singh, though I'm aware the identification is debated just as the Akbar Jodhiaba marriage is also historically disputed. I mean, it's a YouTube video, right? Like, if you want things to be 100% accurate, you got to go to a museum, right? He did this for, like you said, narrative and storytelling history. First of all, the painting you showed is nothing but a crap because Mughals also portray themselves with Ottoman kings. I don't think the Mughals were claiming the meeting took place. Just check the portrayals. All right, I'm not going to read this argument here. Is peak. They don't give Raja Man Singh that much credit because he was a Mughal ally, but at the time they had hardly any choice as United Rajput states was also badly beaten by Mughals in the Battle of Kanwa. Meanwhile, Rana Pratap's son also became an ally of the Mughal. Then Mughal and Mewar never fought with each other. History, man. History. It's deep. Yeah, it's hard to understand. But with videos like this, it makes it just a little bit easier, Just a tiny bit easier. It's a good video. Again, go take a look at the original channel. And with that, I'm gone. Thank you for watching. Take care. Goodbye.